Hello everyone, today I am here with video number 4 from lesson number 13, Sound. In our previous video, we have learnt what is amplitude, frequency and time period. We have also learnt how do we hear, hearing mechanism has also been understood. Now today we are going to concentrate on characteristics of sound. What are the different characteristics of sound? Because we hear different types of sound every day and each sound is different from the other. And you are easily able to distinguish different types of sound. So how is it possible to distinguish? It is due to some fundamental characteristics of sound, like you have loudness, pitch, quality or timbre. These characteristics help us to differentiate between different types of sounds. This is all we have to study in this chapter. So let's begin with. First, I would like to tell you what is a wavelength. Okay, this upper part of the sound wave, this is known as crest and the lower one is known as the trough. So wavelength can be defined as distance between two successive crests or troughs of a wave. Okay, two successive, matlab one after the other, two successive crest or trough, they determine the wavelength. You can see here from here the cycle is starting and here it is ending. So this distance is known as wavelength. Okay, and this is determining you the amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum distance covered by a vibrating object and on y-axis is the time. So by seeing this graph, you can easily tell me that this sound is a quieter one and this is louder. Why? Because here the amplitude is less as compared to this here. Okay, and we know that loudness of a sound is dependent upon the amplitude of the sound. If the greater amplitude, then the sound heard will be louder, and for smaller amplitude the sound will be feeble. This loudness of sound is proportional to the square of the amplitude. Okay, now if the amplitude is twice, then the loudness will increase by 2 times, because it is square of 2 is 4, and loudness is measured in a unit called decibel. Here you can see the loudness of some type of sounds are given here. So if you see here, then you can easily tell me कि faint sound is up till 40 decibel, till 80 it is loud, and above 80 it is very loud, and above 120 around it is extremely loud. Okay, now sound which is above 80 decibel, it becomes physically painful and it is harming the ears also. Okay, let's see our next factor, that is the shrillness or pitch. Frequency of a sound determines the shrillness or a pitch of the sound. Now shrillness indicates how high or low the sound is. It increases with frequency. Sound with greater frequency is shriller and has a high pitch, and sound with lower frequency is less shrill. Again, you can easily tell me which is a shriller sound and which is producing a flatter sound. By seeing the distance, by seeing a waveform, you can easily tell me. And if you remember what is frequency, frequency is the number of vibrations or oscillations per second. So here when you are seeing high frequency, means vibrations are occurring very rapidly. So it will produce a shriller sound, and when the vibrations are taking time to complete, then it will produce a flatter sound. This is the reason the children and women, they are producing high frequency sound, because the sound is shriller and of higher pitch. And on the other hand, adult male produces lower frequency sound and its sound is less shrill. Okay. Now drum produces sound of lower frequency, which is less shrill because it is having a lower pitch, while whistle produces a sound which is of higher frequency. Again you can see here, because in whistle what is happening? It is producing high frequency as compared to the beating of the drum. There the frequency is less, therefore a flat sound is heard in a drum. Now the third quality of sound is timbre, and it is also known as quality. So what it tells about, it is helping you to distinguish the sound of a guitar, piano. If you're not even seeing them, then also you can identify their sound, because there is difference in quality or timbre. Okay. Now it is due to timbre that you can recognize the voice of different playback singers also. Why? Because the waveform which it is producing is different. This slide shows you the waveform of tuning fork, flute, voice of a person and violin. So different waveforms are produced, different quality or timbre you can see here, and thus we can differentiate between the different types of sounds of different instruments also and different person also. Now these were the three characteristics of sound: loudness, pitch, quality and timbre. Loudness, it is dependent upon amplitude. Pitch is dependent upon frequency. Quality or timbre, it depends upon a waveform. Okay, more simple crust and troughs, it will give you a clear sound, and if it is mixed, then it will give you some different sound. These are the differences between loudness, pitch and quality. Loudness is helping you to distinguish between a loud and a feeble sound. Pitch is distinguishing between a shriller and a fatter sound. And quality is distinguishing one sound from the other, which may have the same loudness and the pitch. Okay. And then there are different waveforms are also being shown here. You can easily learn them. Now next we come to audible and inaudible sounds. Audible, as you all know, which you are able to hear. Inaudible, which you can't hear. Sounds which we can hear are audible sounds, and sounds which we cannot hear are inaudible sounds. So human hearing range is from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, and sounds with frequency less than 20 Hz or more than 20,000 Hz are not audible to human beings. So they are beyond our audible range. Okay, so 20 to 20,000 is the audible range for the humans. Now below 20 Hz, the sound is said to be infrasound. Okay, sounds with frequency below 20 Hz is called infrasound, and above 20,000 Hz is called ultrasonic, and between 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz is known as the audible range. And you know, some animals such as dogs, cats and bat, they can hear the sound with above 20,000 Hz, but we cannot hear the sound of this frequency because our ear are maintained to hear the frequency of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. So this much for today, till we have completed today till human audible range. Next video we will study about noise and music. Thank you so much.